Big 12 today on Big 12 Radio. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right to Drew Mestemaker, Oklahoma State quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in college football last year at North Texas, transfers to Oklahoma State along with Eric Morris from Vandergrift High School in Austin, Texas. Drew, how are you? Welcome to Big 12 today.
Thank you. I'm doing good. I'm excited to be on here.
Yeah, you were just telling us during the break that you're going to be back in Stillwater in a month or a few weeks, but you're going to Disneyland this weekend.
I am.
That's amazing. So are you going with your girlfriend?
I am. Girlfriend and my mom.
That's fantastic. And so you were saying you've never been to Disneyland before. What about your girlfriend?
She has.
Okay.
She has been there.
Disney World or Disneyland?
Disneyland.
Okay, so
Yep.
second time or the first time. All right, what are you most excited about?
See, I don't really know what to expect, so just along for the ride, I guess.
Are you a roller coaster guy? Like, do you like roller coasters?
Yeah. I used to be a Six Flags guy when I was younger, so I'd always go ride those.
So what, you'd make the trip from Austin up to Dallas, and what was your favorite roller coaster?
Oof. I remember the Superman one was always awesome.
Yeah. Enjoy it while you can. I used to love roller coasters, and now when I get on them, I get so dizzy. It really sucks. You get older, and you just can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, I mean, your story's been well documented. It's incredible. So let's start with, you arrive at North Texas, walk on. You're a fifth-string quarterback, basically. You end up, as the backup to Chandler Morris that first year. But, just kind of take us through your thought process. You're a walk-on. You hadn't played quarterback in high school, fifth-string quarterback. What was your thought process going on throughout that?
I mean, my thought process, honestly, was just build on my confidence every day. Honestly, because I knew my goal whenever I showed up there was just to try to travel. I just wanted to be on the team and experience college football. And so until about a few months, probably 2 months in, I was like, okay, I can actually compete, and I'm meant to be here. I'm not just a walk on here. I'm good enough to be here. And so those first few, honestly, months was just kind of learn as much as I can, take as much as I can from the coaches, from watching Chandler, from watching everyone, even watching the defense play football, and just try to take as much and learn from not getting as many reps as I could.
So you get your first start when Chandler decides to enter the portal. You start the First Responders Bowl, and put up ridiculous numbers, 293 yards passing. You had a 70-yard touchdown run, 448 total yards. So, okay, before that, what was the last time you started quarterback?
Freshman B team.
Freshman B team.
Yep.
So what?
I will say that freshman B team was probably the best freshman B team there's ever been because we did not let up a point the whole year and won by 40 every game.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So that was a high stakes freshman. As somebody that played in a lot of B teams in my career, I can understand that sounds like a dominant B team.
Yeah.
But you go from freshman year B team starting quarterback to not starting a quarterback until the First Responders Bowl. Was it just what you talked about in terms of the confidence you had built over the course of the season of playing with those guys? I guess what I'm asking is how do you go from all those years of not playing quarterback to starting and playing immediately very well?
I think, honestly, it's the confidence from Coach Morris and the staff and just kind of building me in those weeks before the bowl game of a bunch of team periods, a bunch of live periods, just so I can see everything. And obviously it's not the same as starting a real football game, but I also went out there with the mindset of what do I have to lose? No one knows what to expect out of me. I don't know what to expect out of me. I might as well go out there and rip it. And I feel instead of having the other mindset of, oh, I've never done this before, how am I going to do? You might as well go out there with the mindset of, I might as well just give it all I got and see what happens.
I want to give you credit because obviously Eric Morris gets a ton of credit too, but not just for you, but for many of the quarterbacks that he's helped to develop and coach. But obviously the players themselves, you got to make the plays and you got to do it yourself, right? So Morris can lead you to water, but he can't make you drink in a sense. But what does make Eric Morris so good at developing quarterbacks?
Well, I think first of all, he makes the quarterbacks comfortable and confident in the offense. Like if you look at how he called plays for Cam Ward and Chandler Morris, and then how he calls plays for me, like it's different.
Yeah.
Like it's the same family of plays, but it's different. And then you also, when it's third down, can turn to your right and hand the ball to Caleb Hawkins. Like that also makes playing quarterback easier too. And so I think just the balance of the offense and how he kind of tailors his play calling to my strengths and every quarterback he's had strengths, it just makes you that much more comfortable out on the field whenever you need a play and you think of a play like, oh, I want him to call this one, and he calls it. Like that just makes you so comfortable out there.
You know what they're saying about you, right? I mean, now the one knock would be, oh, he's got to do it at this level now, right? Like he's done it at the group of five level, but he's got to do it at this level. So, I mean, what you just described as your mentality in that first responders bowl, is that kind of the same mentality here too?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every football game you kind of got to go out there with that mentality. You can't think about, oh, I've got this name now. I got to play to this name. Like, I mean, I feel like the jump from freshman B team to Group 5 is probably bigger than Group 5 to Big 12. So I've done a big jump before it. So I think obviously these guys are going to be good, and every team every week is going to be good. But I think we just got to prepare like we know how and go out there and play our brand of football.
Yeah, I mean, and look, there are a lot of guys, including coaching staff, coach that come with you from Denton. But there are a lot of new players too. So how do you guys come together? How do you build that chemistry in such a short period of time?
Yeah, I think it was honestly good having so many people come with because you got obviously the coaches who know the playbook, but then you got 15 guys who can bring all these new guys up to speed and kind of, at least from the football side of it, I felt like we kind of learned the playbook and adjusted a lot quicker than we usually do just because we had, a lot of people new, but so many people already knew this playbook. Like we had guys who transferred away and then came back to Oklahoma State who have been in this playbook before. So we kind of had a lot of guys that know how we operated. And so I think it was good having all those people kind of mesh together and already know how Coach Morris likes to operate and how we like to call the offense and stuff like that. And then with the team chemistry, I feel like Coach Morris does a great job at kind of making it a huge priority for us to, not be on our phones at dinner, sit with someone new, and he does it too. So whenever, it's kind of that lead by example, but he also talks about it. Like most coaches will be like, all right, yeah, like go hang out on the outside, like do whatever. But Coach Morris actually shows up every morning for breakfast, sits with someone new, and so that just kind of builds the culture from there.
We talked a little bit about Morris and his history of developing quarterbacks. How much are you able to be in contact with some of those guys like Patrick Mahomes or Cam Ward or many of the other players that he's coached and helped to develop?
Yeah, I've met Cam Ward before. He'd come by North Texas. I haven't met any of the other guys, but it's pretty cool to just be in that realm of quarterbacks that Coach Morris has coached and be the next guy up on the list.
I mean, did you have a sense of that when you went to North Texas? Like, this guy has done, and even the guys, like the big name guys, like even a Chandler Moore, like every quarterback he's coached has had like career years when he's coached them.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I got the chance to walk on at North Texas, I didn't really know a lot about North Texas, but Miles Coleman, who I went to high school with, was probably like the best player on our, I mean, not probably, like was the best player on our high school team. So we've been friends for such a long time, and I was excited about the chance to go get to play with Miles because we've grown up our whole lives together. But he was on varsity sophomore year, like all that stuff. I never got to throw to him. And so Miles obviously told me about Coach Morris and how they throw the ball a lot. And I was like, oh, sick. Like, this is going to be awesome. I get to go with someone I already know and to a coach who throws the ball a lot. I was like, what else could I ask for? And then when I got there, I kind of realized, oh, shoot, like this guy really knows what he's doing and like is a really good coach. So you know, I'm so glad that honestly I wouldn't have traded my high school career for anything because it wouldn't have led me to where I am now. And I don't think there's a better coach in the country right now.
We're talking with Drew Mestemaker, Oklahoma State quarterback here on Big 12 Radio, Big 12 Today, in advance of a huge season with high expectations for an Oklahoma State program that hasn't won a Big 12 game in 2 years, which is remarkable for a team under Mike Gundy that was at the top of the Big 12 for such a long period of time. The thing that amazes me about you is, your conviction to continuing to play the quarterback position. I mean, college football is littered with former high school quarterbacks, that decided to transition to playing a different position. The NFL is littered with former high school and college quarterbacks that transition to different positions. Like, why'd you stick to quarterback even in high school? Like, and I know you played safety and you played other positions in high school, a punter, but like, how did you know in the back of your mind the entire time and have the confidence that you could, even when you had coaches at the highest level tell you couldn't?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think so. From a young age, I always wanted to play quarterback. Like that was what I was set on, and so I put in all that work to get to that point, and then for it to like get shot down, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do all that quarterback training, watch all these quarterbacks play football, study all these guys just to not play. And so I was like, I'll go anywhere to play quarterback because I knew that I was good enough. I just needed someone to take a chance on me. And so that's all I was looking for. Like, I was ready to go play JUCO football. I was ready to go play D2. I was ready to go wherever. And so I think, I had the confidence in myself, and it was probably some delusional confidence at some points, but I feel like that's honestly what you need. And I just was looking for someone to take a chance on me.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, delusional confidence. That's exactly right. Like,
Yeah.
but it works. And I love the part of like you were basically pot committed. If this were poker, it's like, well, I've done all this work at the quarterback, so I'm not just going to give up now. Like,
Yeah. 100%.
did playing quarterback help you as a safety?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you kind of know what the quarterbacks are looking at, and I feel like you can read their eyes better a little bit just because, you know how progressions work, and you know, if it's a shot play, they're reading you like you're the one in conflict. So
Hmm.
I feel like it helped a little bit.
Does it help the opposite too? Playing safety help you at quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the more football you play and the more football you learn, it kind of helps all across the field. And sometimes I wish I knew what I know now and I could go back and play safety. Like, just so, like, I feel like I could be such a better safety if I knew what I knew now. So, I feel like just the more football you play and the more football you're around, the better it helps just everything.
And Drew Mestemaker joining us here. Drew's first season as a college starter with North Texas led the nation in passing yards, and North Texas had the number one scoring offense in the FBS with a 12-2 record, the best in school history. So, not a bad start. So, what are the expectations at Oklahoma State in year one?
I mean, we have high expectations for the team. We think we can be at the top of the Big 12 at the end of every year, and I feel like that's kind of the reason Coach Morris wanted to be in this conference is he knows we can compete right away. And so everyone talks about Indiana, and you know, Indiana's a freaking once in a lifetime team. That team didn't lose a game, and obviously that's the goal for us because that's the goal for every team. Like no one goes into a year and is like, oh yeah, let's mark these two games down as losses. Like no one does that. So obviously we think we can win every game, but at the end of the day, we just take it week by week and try to win every day leading up to those games and try to win every game.
And I mean, I'm sure you hear the noise, about you as a draft pick. I mean, some have you for next year's draft peg as a top 15 pick. So what does that say to you? And is that something you're working towards and something that motivates you?
Yeah, I think, if you would have asked me 2 years ago if I'd be in mock drafts already, I'd tell you're crazy. But, it's pretty awesome to see that. But also, like, no one's going to want to draft me if I suck this year. So
Right, right.
I got to go out and perform first before any of that happens. But it's pretty cool to see that. I just think, it's a little bit down the road, and I gotta accomplish some things first before I go do that.
Well, and Cam, similar story with Cam Ward, and he
Mhm.
becomes the first overall pick. So I mean, it can happen. So what do you have to do this year personally in order to, put yourself in position there? Like, what are the things you had to work on this offseason? How do you get better?
Yeah, I think honestly it was kind of learning these new guys and what every one of them likes because we got some real guys on the outside, and not saying we didn't in North Texas, but it's different now, and you got real guys, real big time edges coming off the edge, and so I think it's just adjusting to what you can throw at this level and what you can't throw, and what the difference is, and kind of learning what your guys are good at, and you know everyone thought Miles Coleman, our 5'5" slot, wasn't gonna return kicks for us and everything, and he's going out there and making plays. So it's like guys like that, and obviously Wyatt's playing really good, Caleb's playing really good, and then we get transfers like Justin Boak and Chris Barnes on the outside who are super explosive. Like I've never thrown to guys like Justin Boak who can run 23 miles an hour and is 6'5". So it's just guys like that you got to kind of learn what they're good at and how they like their throws and what I want them to do. I feel like that was the biggest adjusting period during the spring.
Mm. All right, last one. We're talking with Drew Mestemaker here, Oklahoma State quarterback. It's been a great conversation, and we really appreciate your time. Obviously, you made the right choice, but you were very highly sought after in the portal. Took a visit to Oregon. Did you take less money to go to Oklahoma State?
I mean, I don't know if I can talk about that, but I figured. I mean, at the end of the day, every school is going to offer you around the same money. Like, and so I figured I might as well go with the guys that I trust, that trust me, and I've built the relationship with already. That I know, like, they have their full trust in me. If I throw a pick, I'm not going to come to the sideline and they're going to be like, "What are you doing?" Like, it's not going to be like that. And so I figured at the end of the day, it was the right move to go with the guys that I trust and I've built that relationship with.
One of the best stories in college football, and it's really cool that it continues in the Big 12 at Oklahoma State. Drew Mestemaker, the Oklahoma State quarterback. Drew, thank you so much for your time, man. Congrats on all the success so far, and good luck moving forward, man. We cannot wait to watch you this season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
There's Drew Mestemaker joining us here on Big 12 Radio. Great stuff. Incredible story and extremely mature. I don't know if I can answer that. But, basically saying, like, the money's pretty equal, right? We're talking about lots of money here across the board. Maybe he took less to go to Oklahoma State, but it's negligible. And quite frankly, as he said, like, he knows what to expect from this staff. He's got a bunch of his former teammates with him. Caleb Hawkins, Wyatt Young. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oklahoma State's going to be very, very good this year. I have no doubt about that. And it's probably a team that, we talk about at the top of the conference, BYU and Texas Tech and Houston and Utah and Arizona. It's funny because as much hype as Oklahoma State's getting, we're probably sleeping on them too. This is Big 12 Radio, Big 12 Today. We are presented by Modelo, heard on TuneIn, watched on Big 12 Studios. All right, we'll recap what we just heard from Drew Mestemaker. Plus, let's get it on is next. It's Big 12 Today.